Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lila and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me chit chat. I've never done one of these before, so if it looks kind of weird, I'm like at my vanity table, but I'm just getting ready to film, and while I'm doing that, we're gonna be chit chatting about where I've been. So if you see me look down, I'm looking at my phone because I put my notes so I won't be sidetracked and chatting about other things. So first I'm going to start with spraying my hair. This is not what I'm using, but I put my own oil spray in here, and this bottle is just good to spray my scalp. But yeah, let's get into it. So basically I've been busy with school. Once we came back from spring break, things kind of got real, and I had a lot of work to do because some teachers didn't plan out their syllabus and schedule properly to give themselves enough space and time to not have to rush when it was close to the end because they didn't have enough grades. So I had a lot of work to do, especially for one class, because as you all know, in my school video, if you didn't see that, please check that out. I will link it down below. But basically I finished math and I took my final when we came back from spring break. So once I did that, I only have 4 classes, and my schedule was just super crazy with my other classes, with essays and tests and projects and everything else. But I was happy to finish math early because it gave me 2 days to still not have to do anything and to really just focus on getting my work done and getting my 3.0 that I want. So yeah, I'm just gonna update you guys on my favorite classes and all that jazz from the last video. So if you didn't see the first video, you kind of got to check that out, or you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But in the first video, I talked about basically my favorite classes, and so far what classes I think are going to be my favorite based off the first week, I believe it was. And my opinion definitely has changed a little bit. And high school and college basically are the same thing, because your freshman year you're basically taking like high school courses but just more in depth, and they expect more from you. I ended up, of course, my favorite class was political science, which is, to me, if I had to compare it to a high school class that I already had, I would say it's kind of like government, US government, that you take in high school. So if you have a really great teacher, you'll enjoy the subject. If you don't, then, well, if I look like I moved, my camera died. So that class is not for everyone, but for me, I'm into that type of stuff. I like talking about like politics and what's going on in the world. It's like really interesting to me. So that was definitely my favorite class, especially shout out to my teacher for really doing his job and getting everybody interesting and actually having us talk and debate and not just sit there and read the text. So I definitely appreciate him for that, and he made the class really interesting. He was very sarcastic and funny, and I think you kind of need to be like that to teach that subject, because I've noticed even in high school, my high school government teacher was like that too. So I definitely enjoyed that. That was definitely my favorite subject, along with business writing. Business writing isn't what it sounds like. We did a lot of fun things in that class and discussed like your personality type and how to type people around you and that type of thing. But learning that was like really interesting to me. A little insight on how to interact with people in business, and you learn a lot about yourself and how, and like the type of person you are, and how you can basically, I guess, well, yeah, work on yourself in any area that you think that you need to work on. And I know in the first video I said that my favorite class, that I thought it would be English, but that turned out to be a complete lie. because my teacher went from being a really cool teacher that everybody thought was gonna be a very fun semester and how we were gonna learn so much and do so much, turned out to be a disaster very quick. Like super quick, faster than we actually thought. But yeah, everybody basically turned out to, I don't want to say hate her, but strongly dislike her by the end of the semester for several different reasons. She was just like really like unorganized, and then she would always complain about teaching at that campus all the time, and she would give assignments and expect us to just know what to do. Like when she gave us our first essay, everybody did it to how they were taught to write an essay basically their whole life, and she basically told us that we didn't know what we were doing, and the way that she taught us to write an essay was just all over the place. So half the time nobody knew how to write an essay properly for her, because she would change up what she wanted, in her opinion, in her words. Our English teachers before didn't know what they were doing because she's a doctor. So she's teaching us the correct way to write an essay. That wasn't true, because I had two amazing English teachers in my high school and middle school life. And I know that I'm an amazing writer. So she was definitely capping with that one, because she didn't really know how to actually teach other learning styles, even though she definitely was like, oh, she's willing to help everybody. She didn't help anybody at all. She would say, oh, she's willing to stay until 8-9 o'clock. Mind you, the class is at 11 in the morning, like 11:40, basically 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 2:30. And she would say that she would stay after and help and this thing and that thing. She never stays after. She never helps. She just tries to pass you off to somebody else in the class that succeeded at whatever assignment that you were missing or you need help with, and just left it at that. In my opinion, she was very unprofessional as a teacher. She would treat us as if we were like in elementary school, and she felt like she could say whatever she wants to us, and we would just sit there and take it, and that's not how it goes out at all. But yeah, that's basically it for that teacher. And I do wish that I did learn more about writing, because I love writing, and English actually was my favorite subject in high school and middle school and all that, because I had great English teachers that knew how to bring the readings to life, and I just have you sitting there bored. They actually taught you some things and taught you how to be a great writer in your writing style and succeed in writing, because I've never had a problem writing an essay until it came to her. She used to always give me B's every time you would hand in the first draft, because in my opinion she didn't understand what a draft meant, because she would want us to basically have the finished product in the draft, even though she said it's a draft. And she would just tell you to revise it, but then wouldn't be able to check your revisions in enough time, because she could only revise one thing from each student per class, even though she would send you to revise a whole bunch of assignments, but then didn't want to take them. So as class got closer and closer, a lot of people got annoyed with that, because she would tell them, oh, revise this stuff, like give you a whole pile of revisions to do, and wouldn't have time to even check them. And then I used this mascara from Victoria's Secret that I have to fill in the hairs to make them look like natural hair strokes. And then I used this brow gel from Estee Lauder. It's a really good brow gel. It actually keeps your brows in place all day. This is a sample size. I got it when I bought the foundation. Then now I'm just gonna use the ColourPop Candyman Super Shock Cheek Highlight before I put on my powder and foundation and all that crap. But yeah, just put it like right here, so have that glow. Yeah, for the most part, that class was like a freaking disaster. And then I did have 5 classes, but I had to drop one, of course, because that teacher was, I don't want to say she didn't know what she was doing, but I've definitely realized that just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you can teach it. That's definitely one of the things I've definitely learned this semester, because just because you're good at math and numbers and all that doesn't mean you need to be a math teacher. Because in my opinion, teaching is not for everybody. Just because you know the topic doesn't mean you know how to teach somebody else the topic, and you can actually put in the effort and all the work it takes to be a teacher, because it takes a lot to be a teacher. It's not for everybody, but that's just not how people take it. They think, oh, they can teach it just because they're good at it, and that's not how it works. It takes a special kind of person to actually be a teacher and do it well. Even not even just being a teacher, even just being somebody who get excited to be interested. Because in my math class, the math teacher didn't teach anything. We just learned from the computers, and we would ask him for help, and he wouldn't even help us. He would just sit there and give us a metaphor and basically like low-key tell us nothing. So we just had to buddy up and learn everything ourselves. Because if we didn't do that, we would have definitely been screwed when it came to grades in that class. I probably look like the Tin Man right now, but I'm just underlining, highlighting. But yeah, that's how school went. I wasn't gonna go back to school the next semester because of how crappy my math teacher was and how crappy my English teacher was, but I decided to just stay and stick it out, because everybody's saying that your first semester as a freshman, you're gonna hate it, especially if you want to learn something, because you're not really learning anything new. You kind of just brushing up on things that you learned in high school. You may get like a few new classes, but you're not really learning anything that new. I'm just gonna go around my highlight and use the e.l.f. hydrating. That's just how school went. And then, of course, everybody knows when school's out and it's summertime, everybody's trying to get that hustle on and get a job so they can make money for the semester and all that good jazz. So I did, during spring break, go look for a job. I looked on Indeed and all that to find a job, because I need a job for the summer, because school's not cheap, of course. And these are just the LA Girl concealers, but I just put them in these little jars so it's easier for me to just take my finger or to take like a little brush and just apply it or whatever. Basically, that's just what I did for my spring break. I didn't really do much. Of course, I went out and had fun or whatever, went very minor places, but besides that, I didn't do anything too crazy. I didn't go on vacation or anything, but I went to look for a job. I was looking, if you don't know, I'm a licensed esthetician, so I went to look for jobs in that field to see if I can get one of those. But a lot of those jobs, they want you to already have experience, and it's like, I've only had my license for a year, and I only have one job so far. So I went to look to see what I can find, and I actually got a job, but it was very short-lived, of course. Well, let me not say of course, but it was very short-lived, sadly. It was at a spa, but I've come to realize a lot of people, they'll have a business, well, especially like in this industry, they'll have a business and know nothing about the business. They don't have a license themselves. They're like, oh, this is a great way to make money, and they just whatever. So they really lack a lot in knowing what we actually do, and think that they can just treat you however because you're an employee and they pay you. And in my opinion, I think that's wrong. You shouldn't treat somebody like crap because you're the boss. Because you know how it is to be, well, let me not say you know how, but some people, they know how it is to be an employee and how hard it was to work. Some people don't, because they just have the money and they have the means to just open a business without even working. But if you know how it is to be an employee, I think you should treat your employees well. You shouldn't treat them like they're just a number or they're just money to you. And that was the issue that was with this job. The lady knew nothing about the industry. She knew nothing. She just had a marketing degree and just decided that she'll be a great business owner. It wasn't a good fit. Maybe one day I'll tell a story time. Right now, I'm just saying she wasn't a good fit at all. So I just had to leave. I worked there for like maybe two weeks. So like I didn't that wasn't my plan to just be there and leave. My plan was to stay there for years actually and learn other things underneath the esthetician umbrella, because I mostly just wax, even though I do other things, but I mostly wax. That's like my favorite thing to do. And she offered other services there, so I was willing to learn other services and try it out and what have you, but it just didn't work out. I'm not mad or anything about it. It just wasn't meant to be. Maybe better doors are opening, other things planned for me to do. I've been talking for a good minute. Okay, so now the final thing, the biggest thing that really stopped me from filming and uploading was I was sick. I had tonsillitis, and for those who don't know what it is, it's pretty serious, because your tonsils can swell to the point where you can't even breathe at all. So in that aspect, it really sucked, because I couldn't breathe, and it felt like I had fire ants in my throat. If I had to like explain how it felt, to the point where I didn't even want to talk. I was using like this app to talk because my throat was hurting. It was dry. Like my throat was like still scratchy because I just got better. It's still like everything's getting back to normal. I'm 100% clean bill of health now. No longer contagious or anything. So I've been just grinding, trying to film and edit and get content out for you guys to watch, because I actually really enjoy doing this. It is a lot of work, believe me, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it in my opinion, because I just love dropping knowledge and just stuff like that to tell people, to share, to entertain, just that type of thing. That's just something I like to do. I've been entertaining people since I was a kid. Like, I was a dancer my whole life. I used to be on stage, and I just love entertaining people, making people happy, making people laugh, even if it's just the smallest thing, by giving somebody some information that they didn't know, or just something small. I just like putting a smile on people's face, or just like dropping knowledge, helping somebody, just anything. I like doing that type of thing. So that's why I've been grinding so much. So you'll see way more content now, and if you have a video idea, please let me know down below, and I'll be sure to check it out. I have a lot of cool videos coming up. I'm trying new recording styles, new editing styles. I really want to make a difference and not be all the same like everybody else. Check that out. Check it out. When I was sick, it sucked. It really did, because I was looking forward to recording this really video that's going to be really fun, that I've been dying to actually do, and I finally like got the stuff for it. Now I just can't wait to actually film it, and I'll be definitely trying to upload once or twice a week. I can definitely promise once a week. Twice a week I'll try to. I don't want to overload. all for this video, and I know you guys want to see more, so click watch something, please. Like, you want to see more, you want to know how I got this hair, you want to know more information, just click them. They're right here. Well, until next time, later.